we have recently seen the meeting between the Gema elders and the Kalenjin elders with regards to ensuring whether the 2013 pact or agreement between William Ruto and President Kenyatta will stand in the event that President Kenyatta will not be seeking a third term because he is barred by the Constitution in 2022. And that was an assurity on whether things will still be normal and the House is stable. But there has not been a concrete statement or agreement from that meeting we have seen. And the Raila Odinga coming into the mixture, the handshake between President Kenyatta and him, and also meeting Presidents Moi and Kibaki. So how do you think the Ruto camp views this, although the DP hasn't come out to issue a statement with regards to going forward his succession plan in 2022?
Well, you see, the first thing is Ruto cannot come out clean right now. Anyway, Kenyans are watching and they know that, of course, he wants to vie and he has his own interest that he's protecting. And that's why he's using his political men, Aden Duale and Kipchumba Murkomen, to speak. But when it comes to the meetings that Ruto has held with the persons from the Gema leaders, you see, as stated, political interests are not something that is permanent because, well, the Gema people are meeting the Kalenjin leaders because of the 2013 pact. However, we have to realize that the agreement between Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta is a social contract. I mean, it's a contract that cannot be enforceable in any legal avenue. Ruto cannot go to court and claim that Uhuru Kenyatta has breached the contract that they had. So the fact that it's a social contract, then it leaves the two parties with the liberty. And that's why you had the other day Uhuru saying very well that there are people from his camp who are not happy with whatever he's doing with Raila Odinga. And of course, that message goes back to William Ruto, who of course was never in the know initially. He also knew just after the handshake, you know. He never knew any information about the handshake. And really, it causes jitters within Ruto's camp. And as Ruto is, he must be a worried person because, you see, the camp, if Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Moi, and Kibaki, let's say, form a political machination, as I said here last week, that's a very strong party or group which William Ruto will really have to struggle to come and outdo it. So for Ruto, that's why he's doing all these things, trying to appease the people from Gema, trying to appease the people from all these other tribes, religious leaders. So he's trying to sell his agenda. However, since the handshake, the train has already left. And you see, this train is cruising at a very maximum speed. So really, Ruto will do a lot and will have to put in a lot of effort to try and apply brakes to this train that has already left. Yes.
You will, just to put this into context, Karen and Denning, the Change Constitution movement, which is currently supported by the ODM leader Raila Odinga, his party, although President Kenyatta never came out to speak on that issue, but said, but refuted claims of creating positions for individuals and calling off people who are criticizing his meeting with Odinga. It's adamant that history is also important on this. We remember in the 1970s, there was the Change Constitution movement, which was spearheaded then by Cabinet Ministers Njenga Karume and Kihika Kimani. And the proportions then were different, of course, with the makeup currently of the political spectrum. But it's causing uncertainty in the Jubilee Party, isn't it? Especially with regards to Ruto camp, who now feel being pushed to the wall with regards to also carrying the memories of the 1997 Raila Odinga coming on board to join KANU with the subsequent disintegration in 2002, where he said Kibaki Tosha to usher in the NAG government, isn't it? Should William Ruto genuinely feel, or his camp feel, threat about the Odinga coming on board, beneath what we see, the handshake, beneath the calls for the political settlement and settling the political standoff for the economy to pick up because of the uncertainties which surrounded the both presidential elections of August and October? Should William Ruto be genuinely fearful of Odinga in this case?
I don't think the deputy president should be fearful. he should just sell his, he should sell his agenda. I think he's a bit lucky because he knows, history has it, that he worked well with Raila Odinga. And to me, they can still work together. He can still genuinely push his agenda instead of feeling threatened. A person you'd worked with before, you could still work and push your agenda. He could still work well with Raila. You know, as we speak, Raila has not said that he wants to be the president. So the deputy president is the person who already has declared.
Junet Mohammed said Raila can be president in 2022.
I said Raila has not said. Junet had said. I don't know whether he got the... He said he can be.
Of course, he's in the inner circle of Raila Odinga and was the only MP who accompanied him to Harambee House when he met President Kenyatta.
We may take it to be genuine, but that should not be a basis for... He could still negotiate. That's what I'm trying to say, that the person you had worked, they have a history of working together and achieving much. The time Raila worked with Ruto, they achieved much politically. So they could still work together. They could still go to the boardroom, close the door, and agree on who they want to be the president. So the deputy president should not lose hope. There's still much hope in it. In relation to the changing of the constitution, I mean, introducing the amendments to the constitution, we will not well compare what happened in the 70s and after the 2010 constitution, because I'm told there's a time in Uganda when the cabinet secretary woke up and in their pigeonhole, they got parts of the constitution had been amended. They learned from the pigeonhole that this section of the constitution is now amended to this section. In the 70s, there was no democracy, especially in Kenya. And those are the days when even the president could just amend the constitution to increase his term of service in office. The current procedure of amending the constitution, which is through the referendum. Actually, now if you want to change the constitution, there are two ways. One, you go to the court to give a meaning to that specific clause. The other way is through the referendum. The referendum, which is the people speaking. So that is why we do not fear when it is changed, because the people will speak. And if the people speak, so long as it's free, fair, and democratic, there should be no fear on Kenyans.